Hi everybody, I am here with Julian, who is one of our candidates for president. So hi Julian, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Sophie? It's an honor to be here this evening. Thank you so much for inviting me along.
No bother. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So my name is Julian, and I'm the current VP Education in the Union, and I have decided to put myself forward for the position of president. I suppose a bit of the non-political stuff. I'm a geography graduate, and I originally come from Portlaoise, but my family's from Poland.
Brilliant. So what do you think the role of the Student Union President entails?
I think there's more. It has you have to wear many different hats in it, as it has many different aspects. But I think the two that are most important for me is one, to be a leader, both for for I suppose the union as a whole, whether it's individual members, academic reps, senators, officers, members of the full-time staff. Um, but also it's a very important. It has a very important representational role. You sit on some of the most important committees in the university, such as the Governing Authority, the Finance, Human Resource and Capital Development Committee. And it's just, you are the only person who is able to vocalize the student concerns at such a high level. So that's what the role really means to me.
Brilliant. So what can you bring to the role of president?
Sorry, I think I missed the first part of what you said.
Sorry, what can you bring to the role of president?
Oh, thank you. So I think I can bring quite a lot to the role. Certainly, I can bring in my experience. I've been involved in the union for a while. It hasn't been all successes, but the point is I've learned from my failures and from my successes to become a better representative for all students. I think I bring very egalitarian, philosophy to the role and to the union as a whole. One where everyone's equal, which I try to represent everyone. I try to make everyone feel welcome and included. And I think that's the best thing we can do for engagement. I suppose that I think it's very important to note. This year we are getting a new university president. And the person's going to be elected in 9 days' time is going to be the person who kickstarts a relationship that will last a decade. I just feel I'm the best person to start this relationship on the right foot and have a good 10 years where the university actively listens to the student concerns and takes them on board.
Brilliant. Well, I feel like you're one of the most known candidates in this year's election. So maybe people might have known you before your current position. So how have you been involved within the university and the student union previously?
Well, thank you. It goes back a fair bit back. I was the first ever first-year senator in Minute Students' Union in 2016. After that, I served a year as faculty convener. I then went on Erasmus, and I actually just gave up the union for the union representational side for a year. The only thing I did that year, I was an orientation leader, and that was such a good experience. Came back, was orientation leader again, got elected back into my position as arts faculty convener, and from then on, I went into being the VP Education. So that's more or less it.
Brilliant. Tell me a bit about your campaign. I know how hard it is this year. You had first-hand experience last year of campaigning, talking to people, getting involved. But sure, this year it's so different. Social media is playing such a big part in it. So tell me a bit about your campaign.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. I'm running I feel, a very positive grassroots campaign. I've been trying to get involve as many people, both into the campaign itself, but also into the policy formation. I didn't write my manifesto. Well, I did write my manifesto, but I didn't write it based on my ideas, but rather I ran groups of people. I spoke to them. Where do you think we can do better? Where do you
Brilliant.
see opportunities to further benefit students? And based on that, I wrote a manifesto. I've been campaigning on a very people led platform since. And as for the whole remote campaign thing, I don't think it suits anyone. It doesn't suit me. Um, I'm trying to reach out to as many people as possible, but everyone has Zoom fatigue and so on. I feel people appreciated it more back when you'd be able to go up to them in their arts block or in um
Yeah.
in Phoenix or whatever and just say, hi, my name is Julian. I'm running for this position. This is what I want to do for you. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what your problems are. What can I do to fix them?
Yeah, I'm sure it's very difficult just with all the circumstances to go around. So how do you plan on securing the votes of the students?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to communicate three main things, actually four main things around my, who I am as a person, what my ideas are as a candidate, that I am really passionate about the student movement and what I can achieve for others in the role. I'm not doing this for any reason other than, for the betterment of the student experience here in Maynooth. I'm open, I'm transparent. I don't, I'm leading a very diverse, I have a very diverse campaign group. I have a very, that reaches beyond what you might expect, from just the students union clique. I want to put across that I am quite, I am competent in what I do. I've sat through many difficult meetings with university management and so on, and got my point across and got them to agree with me and see the student point of view and take real actions that really benefited the students. And I feel that my manifesto points that they
Yeah.
are in the best interest of the student body.
Brilliant. So how are you going to campaign for the students if you secure the role of student union president?
Sorry, I missed the first 5 words of this.
Sorry, I'll repeat myself. How are you going to campaign for the students if you secure the role of student union president?
Sorry, you broke up again. Sorry, Sophie. I'm sorry for being awkward.
Sorry. That's no problem. It's the social media. How are you going to campaign for the students if you secure the role of student union president?
Oh, thank you. Well, to be honest, I don't really plan on changing much to what I've been doing this year, which is, I suppose, a mix of two approaches, though probably in a different formula. One area is consulting with students, with student representatives. I regularly go to academic reps to see what the issues are, and then I bring them to the university management. I lay them out very simply what the problem is, why it's important, what are the possible solutions, and I chase it up. I present a very clear, situation and why it's in the benefit of both parties to get it solved. Because realistically, the university may not always have the same understanding of the student experience, but we're on the same page in the sense that we want it to be the best possible it is possible. So part of it is that, and if things don't go well, we can always do direct action. We've been very successful in our lobbying of the university without having to resort to direct action this year, unlike some other unions such as NUAGSU. But certainly in terms of campaigning for publicly funded higher education with the government, we've been protesting the last number of years, and I have a feeling that next year, if the pandemic allows for large gatherings, we're going to have to protest again to secure publicly funded higher education that is affordable to all.
Brilliant.
Oh, is this supposed to happen?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you again. Yes, Sophie.
Okay, so my final big question for you is, what does the position mean to you?
What this position means to me is being able to finish up a lot of the things that I started in 2016. I'm very much I'm a different person to what I was back then, but my priorities are still the same, such as, for example, opening up the students' union. In 2017, as a first year centre, I passed a mandate condemning excessive spending on elections, as some candidates were at that time spending close to £1,000 over the space of 2 weeks, and that just excluded anyone who was low income, anyone who didn't have that type of money, or it forced them into
Yeah.
horrible sacrifices. I passed that motion in 2017. This year, I am running a zero budget campaign because I want to show that it's possible, and I want to take a leadership role, and that's a part. That's an important thing for me. I also want to leave a better union, a better MSU than what I founded in 2016. And I want it to be a better union because not as a vanity project, but as a union that serves better for its members.
Really, really excellent stuff. I actually have seen your, it really stood out to me, your campaign like poster as such, where you like superimposed your poster onto John Hume. That was brilliant, I thought. Getting yourself out there and also in a sustainable fashion. Really, really, really like that. So I'm going into like the quick fire questions. This is my favorite part of the interview. Just so like the students get to know the candidates a little bit more. So firstly, tea or coffee?
Tea.
Barry's or Lions? This is my favorite question I've been asked.
I'm a Barry's man, even though the fact that the tea bags aren't compostable. When I found this out, the taste is still better than Lions, but it isn't as good as it used to be.
Yeah. Cats or dogs?
I'm a big dog person, but at the moment I only have cats. So thankfully my cats don't understand English, otherwise they might be a bit upset right now.
What's your favorite word?
Roundabout.
Would you like to elaborate?
Yes, I really in terms of I have a keen interest in traffic management, and roundabouts are just so superior to traffic lights. I come from, I'm not sure, have you ever been to Portlaoise, Sophie?
No, but I actually know a lot of people, surprisingly, from Portlaoise.
We have probably the most roundabouts in Ireland per capita or per junction, if you get me. I used to, when I was working over summer in Laois County Council the previous years, I had a 11-minute cycle to work, during which time I had to pass 10 roundabouts, just to give you an idea.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at roundabouts. I hate them. So maybe Portlaoise isn't the place for me to drive. All the roundabouts.
No, it can be difficult, but look.
Yeah. Apple or Android?
Sorry?
Apple or Android?
Oh, Android. I've never had an iPhone until this year, where my work phone, like the MSC work phone, is an iPhone, and it's been a struggle. It's really been a struggle.
I'm sure it has, when you're so focused on like the one phone, and then you're just throwing this new thing.
Yeah, no.
Although I think I'd be the same with Android.
Yeah, I haven't really, I answer phone calls on it, but apart from that, if I need to look something up on the internet or review some documents like on Teams from when I'm away from my laptop, I just crack up out my personal phone and just do it there.
Brilliant. This is a very controversial question now. Is a Jaffa cake a cake or a biscuit?
Mm-hmm. I used to think cake, but see, I've been involved in the union for a while, and one thing, it's always asked of first years during orientation, and this has actually changed my viewpoint quite a lot. there was I can't actually remember what the argument was because I was working 15 this it was like my 15th hour working. But he made a very good point. I remember that it is a biscuit, and I just kept to it since one of the first years did.
Yeah, no, I'm biscuit all the way. Mm-hmm. If you can put it in tea, it's a biscuit. What's your favorite memory so far in Maynooth?
I think it has to be being an orientation leader, especially the 2019 orientation was amazing. Just the vibes were very good. I remember it was quite sunny. I was walking around, helping loads of first years, giving the IT services talk. It was just a lot of fun. I got to help a load of people, made some really good friends among the first years and the orientation leaders. It's a memory I look back over very fondly.
First year in 2019.
Sorry, Sophie, I think you broke up again.
On Moodle.
I think you're back again.
In 2019. Yeah, I think I'm here. Am I here?
You are here now, yes.
Am I here?
Yes,
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. I actually remember your talk when I was in first year.
Oh, I'm glad I hope it was a positive memory.
Can you? Yeah. I was one of the first years back in 2019. Yeah. Yeah, really positive. Orientation week was brilliant for me, I have to say. And finally, what's one thing that surprises people about you?
Well, to be honest, I've actually kind of talked about it already, but I do tend to talk about roundabouts and actually transport infrastructure in general quite a lot. I'm known for rants about how we should electrify the whole Irish rail network on nights out, or at least I was before the pandemic. But I still spent quite a lot of time just looking at that. I also love looking at old maps. There is this late 19th century, all of Ireland was mapped in the very end of the 19th century to a phenomenal accuracy. You can see individual trees where they would have been placed, and just looking back and seeing how things used to be, it's just so exciting. For example, me and my friends from Portlaoise go camping every summer, and we found out, even though we've been camping there for like 4 years now, we found out recently through that map that about maybe 100 meters above where we camp, there used to be an old famine era house. It's just like it's surrounded by bushes, and we would have never really went into those bushes, so we didn't know till now that there is actually ruins of a house in there.
That's so exciting! Oh my god! As a history student, that's like really interesting to me. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. To talk about your campaign promises and to get a bit more, let students know a bit more about you. Have you anything else that you would like to say before we finish up?
Well, I'd just like to thank you and MarsFm for inviting me over, and thank you so much for being such a patient host, given I'm not sure if it was my Wi-Fi problems or yours, but I think we weathered through it very well, so thank you so much.
Yeah. No bother. I just want to say again, I'm saying this in every single interview, please remember to register, remember to get voting. Please, March 10th is the day for it.
Oh, I should have actually probably said that as well. But anyways, yeah, I would appreciate everyone to keep me in mind for the vote.
Perfect. Okay. We'll see you all tomorrow for our first interview at 1 p.m. Thank you so much, Julian, again for joining us tonight. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.